Welcome to CareLink SF, eClinical Works, EMR training, intake and discharge. The default screen when you first log into ECW will be your office visit screen. This is where you will view the schedule for the day. If you're working directly with a provider, you may select that provider's resource by selecting the ellipses next to the Provider/Resource box. From the drop-down, select All Resources and place a check mark in the box next to the appropriate resource or resources. Click OK to see the schedule for the day. If you're working in a clinic and would like to see a list of all patients in the clinic for that day, select Facility Group from the drop-down, select the facility, and place a check mark next to All. Adjust your viewing preferences as needed. As patients arrive and check in the front, the visit status will update from this aqua blue SCED to a green ARR. Once the patient is ready to be seen, the status column will update to Allergies Done. Check-in. When you're ready to see the patient, place a check mark to the left of the patient and click Check In Out at the bottom of the screen. Click Check In, add a room number, and update the status to Intake. Double-click on the appointment to open the progress note and begin your intake documentation. We'll begin with Chief Complaint. This will be the main reason for the visit. You can add additional information here if necessary. If the patient was last seen at a non-DPH facility or a DPH facility that does not use ECW and has records transferred over to your clinic, verify that there's a check mark next to the transition of care. Close out of this window. CareLink SF has created intake templates as a shortcut for adding information into your note. There are 3 intake templates used across DPH. The templates are found in your right chart panel by clicking on the Templates tab. For COPC clinics, you'll use the Intake Adult CPC template. For SFGH outpatient clinics, you'll use the SFGH Adult Primary Urgent Care Intake template. And for SFGH specialty clinics, you'll use the SFGH Specialty Care Intake template. If you do not see the template you need in the right chart panel, you may add it by clicking on Templates at the bottom of the screen. Type the name of the template you're looking for and click Go. Highlight the template and click Add as Favorite. Close this box and the template will always be available to you from your right chart panel. I'll go ahead and merge the Intake Adult CPC template by clicking on the arrow. Notice how the template will populate the HPI section with the smoking status and additional intake questions. You may click on the green text or the placeholder to answer the questions. If your clinic permits nurses and MEAs to reconcile patient medication lists, click Current Medications. Reconcile the medication list with the patient Select taking, not taking, unknown, or discontinued for each medication. To add a medication, add in the green box, select a dosage, to make adjustments to a medication, double-click on the medication and adjust here. Click Apply. Leave the verified box empty for the provider to verify the current medication list. Close out, and the medications will populate the note. Next is allergies. To add a medication-related allergy, click Browse Rx. And then complete the reaction, type, and status. To add environmental allergies, click Add and select Non-Structured from the dropdown. Free type or choose from the dropdown to add the environmental allergy and complete the reaction, type, and status. The provider will need to verify the allergies by checking the Allergies Verified box. Close out, and the allergies will populate your note. The objective section of the note is where you will record vitals. Click on Vitals. Make sure that there's a check mark next to the pop-up box. This provides you with pop-ups that ensure you enter data in the correct format. The yellow line is the current visit. Click on BP to begin entering vitals. Record BP and select the arrow and click Next to continue recording. Make sure that you enter BP, height, and weight, plus other vitals per clinic protocol. Please note that the height will carry forward from previous visits and does not need to be re-entered with each visit. Select Vitals Taken before closing out of this window. Next, complete healthcare maintenance orders. Select Alerts from the top toolbar. Select Health Maintenance to see what tests were last done and what is due. To order point-of-care tests, such as blood glucose or a UA dipstick, or health maintenance orders that are due, use the Health Maintenance Order Set from the right chart panel. Click on Order Sets. Click on the gray OS next to the order set. Select the linked assessment code of Z00.0, which is a routine general medical examination, and click OK. Place a check mark next to each test that you would like to order. You may also access patient education here in multiple languages. When you have finished, use the Order button from the very top of the screen. This way you will order from all of the categories in the order set. To document your POC results, Click on the tests, which now appear under the Treatment section of your note. From the Results window, input the results in the yellow grid. And place a check mark in the Received box, and click OK. For immunizations to be given prior to the patient seeing a provider, you'll need to merge the IZ screening template from the right chart panel. All of the screening template questions will default to No. Click on the green text to update as needed. If an MEA is administering the immunization, an RN or a provider must verify the immunization from the bottom of this template. Select the immunization and timestamp. If the patient declines orders, merge the declined IZ template from the right chart panel. Scroll to the HPI section at the top to view the template. Select the green vaccine text and select the declined immunization from the drop-down. You'll need to delete the immunization from the progress note if it has already been ordered. Click on the immunization, place a check mark next to the immunization, and click Delete. If the patient declines a healthcare maintenance item, leave the order, but from the Results window, select Patient Declined from the Results drop-down. Click Received and OK. This completes the intake portion of the visit. To alert the provider that the patient is ready, return to the office visit screen from the left chart panel and update the status for the patient from intake to ready. Once the provider has finished with their visit, they will update the patient's status. If the provider places orders during their visit, they will update the patient's status to either ORD-RP, letting you know that there are orders and to return the patient to the provider, or ORD-DC, which means that there are orders, and then you may discharge the patient. If you see one of these statuses, you can check the patient's orders. To view the orders for the patient, select the patient by placing a check mark to the left of the appointment and click View Orders from the bottom of the screen. The provider's orders will be available in this window. For labs and diagnostic imaging orders, click Quick Transmit on the respective section. We'll start with labs. Here you will print your requisitions. Before you print, you'll need to separate requisitions by specimen type, such as blood, urine, and feces. One requisition for each type. You also need to sort by processing lab company, such as SFGH lab, public health lab, pathology lab, and etc. To do this, first select the lab from the drop-down, and then select each test going to that lab, sorting by specimen, and click Transmit from the bottom and Print. Click Quick Transmit again if you need to print requisitions for another lab company or specimen type. First, choose the laboratory from the drop-down and select the specimen and Transmit. And Print. You'll repeat these steps for each specimen type and lab company. For labs that are ordered as future labs, schedule the future lab appointment or direct the patient to the front desk for scheduling. If the provider orders POC test, you do not need to print a requisition. Complete the test and enter the results in the progress note by clicking on the order and entering the results in the yellow grid and checking received. For diagnostic imaging, click Quick Transmit and print the requisition. For ordered procedures, such as the albuterol nebulizer treatment, click on the procedure and document completed in the notes section, then mark as received and reviewed. If a Snellen test or audiometry was ordered, you'll document the results within the progress note under examination. The rest of the discharge documentation will be done from within the progress note. Close out of the patient's orders window and double-click to open the note. Scroll down to the treatment section to view the remaining orders. For in-clinic medication to be dispensed by the RN, document that the medication was given by clicking into the treatment section, select the assessment, then next to the medication in the notes section, timestamp and type given, click OK. If the provider ordered immunizations, here you could merge the immunization screening template from the right chart panel. Ensure that the RN or provider verifies the immunization if an MEA is administering. Select the immunization from your note, which will read as pending. Document the dose and the lot number by clicking on the ellipses. Here you would select your immunization and verify the lot number and click OK. Document the location, route, and given by, and click OK. For therapeutic injections, you can document the same way by selecting the dose, verifying the lot number, and documenting the location, route, and given by. Here, if the provider has ordered an outgoing referral, you'll need to refer to your clinic's workflow, as each facility has different procedures for referrals. To print patient education, click on the treatment link, click on Education. Here you can print patient-specific education or RX education. We'll print patient education. Patient-specific diagnosis are on the left-hand side. Education with a global icon next to it is available in multiple languages. Print the education for the patient. To print a visit summary for the patient, click on the caret next to Print. Choose Print Visit Summary. Select the categories that you would like to appear on the printed visit summary and click Print Preview and Print. Under Procedure Codes, you'll see the venipuncture code. If you do not see it, click on Procedure Codes, click Add CPT. From the left-hand side, select Lab, and there you can add your venipuncture code. This completes the RN MEA discharge workflow. Return to your office visit screen. If the provider had originally used the status of ORD-RP, you could inform the provider of the patient's status and any additional POC test results and change the status to ready. Or if the provider used a status of ORD-DC, then you may discharge the patient. Schedule a follow-up appointment according to your clinic protocol, and check the patient out from the clinic by clicking on Check In, Check Out at the bottom of the screen and click Check Out. If you're the last person to see the patient, meaning that they are not going to the front desk to have a follow-up appointment scheduled, then you'll need to check the patient out from the resource schedule as well. Click on the resource schedule from the left chart panel. Double-click on the patient's appointment slot and change the visit status from ARR to Checked Out. You will notice that the appointment shows as an orange checked out from the office visit screen now. Thank you for watching CareLink SF's Intake and Discharge of a Provider Visit. For questions or suggestions, email us at carelinksftraining@sfdph.org.